Hey, what's up, everybody? I almost missed the intro because I was messing around making new goofy commands. Hey, what's up, Pudgy? Large Marge, Joe G, Dylan. Who else we got? Rick. What's up, William LeBron? Rick Urbanowski, Jay Dandy. How's everyone doing tonight? Boring tonight. Just little old me here. After the fun we had on Tuesday, it almost feels weird to be here alone. Plus, we have done a lot of guests this summer when I have been doing this. We people in person. Ben was here. I think the last stream we did talking about his bike. Had Dylan and Robbie, and so yeah, that's one of the things too. I wanted to talk about first before I forgot is going forward now with the time change being Sunday. I'll probably get back to 2 streams a week, and I really want to do like at least try and do at least one of the streams a week with a guest. So again, if you're a member of the channel, if you locally, you can come over here and be here live, bring your bike, we could put it on the rack and talk about it. But if not, I need to get back into figuring out exactly the best way to do it. When we had a guest, I know in the end, late spring, I had it dialed in pretty good, but now it's been a while since I've tried it. So I think I'm going to try and do a test stream on Monday. But if you're not in the Discord, uh, join us in the Discord and we could chat about that over there. And if you're interested in being a guest, if you type it in the chat right now, I'm not going to remember. But if we keep it over there in the members section, if you're a member, we could work that all out. Also, if there's some new members, that's why if any of the new members are watching now, you could link the Discord to the YouTube, and then you get access to the members only channels in the Discord where we talk about stuff like this. And then, hey, what's up, CJ? Speaking of new members. So also, where was I going with that? I was thinking too, then, members will have first choice, our first priority on being on the stream live and talking about their bikes and what they're up to. But if you guys know anyone also who would be interesting to have on a guest that's like on our level, like I told Erin this idea and she's like, oh, you should try and get Lachlan Morton. I'm like, sorry. Or like ultra romance. I'm like, no, I mean, it needs to be someone a little more on our level. I mean, we could bat, maybe a little above our weight belt, but to mix my metaphors. But yeah, if there's anyone interested, I know Pudgy had mentioned a couple friends who make things. I was thinking of a couple, the people that me and Large Marge know who, do some stuff in the bike industry, even on a small level, might be interesting to talk about. So yeah, keep that in mind and let me know if you guys have anyone that you think would work out for something like that besides us. I think just keep it more interesting. I mean, we did like a whole year of just me sitting here talking. So, and some nights, it's great. We get into bike photos and it's a lot of fun, but I think it's even more fun if we could like, make it more interesting. Hey, what's up? What's up, Robbie? Just brought you up. What's up, Lanky? How's it going? What else did yeah, so that was my first thought. Doing 2 of these a week, if I'm going to do 2 a week over the winter, to have more and more guests to keep it more interesting for you guys and also for me, So, Dr. Ferrari. Good idea. I do have, speaking of channel members also, I think most of the people who tune in here regularly follow Lenky, but if you don't, you should subscribe to his channel. But yeah, we both put out videos on the same race today, so it was kind of cool because Lenky had the chesty on, so he has the footage from inside the race, and then I was just standing there taking photos. So kind of 2 completely different perspectives. And as Lenky had commented, my footage in slow-mo made it look like kind of less chaotic than you see Lenky's footage from actually inside the race, and it looks completely different. So 2 totally different vibes. So Tony Twist or Mean Gene Ackerland. I don't know. I think what like you put up an Instagram poll about your win in the fat bike division, but both answers were sarcastic and I didn't click on them. But to me, a win's a win. You know, no one else showed up to race a fat bike. You still won the category. So, and then also I switched lenses. If you were here on Tuesday with all of us, I needed to use an ultra wide lens, but that thing just won't focus on this um, Canon 5D, and I was having troubles getting this camera going tonight. I think it's just on its last legs. I mean, this was my pro body for 3 years, so it's been well used, and now it's being run for, you know, hours as a webcam. But so I have my Sigma 3514 on there. If you notice the difference, I get that like nice depth of field with this lens. It's much sharper. That probably doesn't show up in a live stream, but might get some autofocus qualities back. Yeah, yeah, I do. So yeah, Jackie O's Who Cooks for You, just a classic beer they always have in the drive-thru across the street that I like. Let's see what else. I think there were some drink pictures thrown up in the Discord too. Large Marge is drinking a Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. I almost got that tonight. It is cold or cool. Yeah, cold for the transition we went through, and now I'm in that mood for porters and stouts again, where I don't feel like ever drinking those in the summer. Oh, speaking of winter beers, Lanky has a Shiner Holiday Cheer. I won't buy Christmas ales, anything Christmassy, until after Thanksgiving. Black Friday, I'll have my first Christmas ale. But in general, I don't drink them as much anymore as I used to. They've gotten too sweet for me, so my tastes have changed. I used to really like them, but now they're the sweet and the spiciness. I'm usually not into them. Shiners is usually pretty mellow, though. If I remember, that's not a real strong Christmas ale. Rick, are you on the wagon? He's got a sparkling water. There's a Bacon Fest. So Rick said this weekend he has a Bacon Fest Saturday and the Philly Bike Expo Sunday. That Philly Bike Expo, just on Instagram, watching people's stories of bike, like companies I follow, like seeing what people are loading up. That sounds like it's a really good one. I don't know if I've ever paid attention to it before, but yeah, everything I saw that people were getting ready for it looked like really cool stuff. Oh, Rusty. Yeah, you changed his name back. I had never seen you use the other name on the chat before. Oh, Pudgy said he has a six-pack of Technicolor hat left. Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while. I bought a lot of that stuff, though. Oh, is Rusty going non-alcoholic here? Yeah, Athletic Brewing. Are they, you know what? When me and Large were staying in Bridgepoint, Connecticut, and we were trying to, that's the day we rode in the rain all day long. So that's what I was saying. Like, I got us a lift to go out and get dinner. And we were going to breweries, and something called Athletic Brewing came up in Bridgeport. I always assumed they were from out west, but it showed an Athletic Brewing in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Someone will have to Google that for me. Unless maybe it was just like a real similar name, but I thought that's what it said. Pudgy said Philly Bike Expo is one of the better ones. Yeah. And I'm sure it was canceled last year, right? So that's probably why I don't remember it if I was aware of it before. Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of the smaller brands were going to be there. It didn't seem like it was just going to be some Trek specialized type thing. It seemed like a lot of makers and frame builders were loading up stuff to get there. Rusty said the Athletic is zero point 0.4 ABV. Not great, but not bad. I would have to think IPAs are one of the non-alcoholic beers you could make better because even when I used to homebrew, and I'd only extract homebrew, if you know what that means, but regardless, they never taste that great when you extract brew because you're not actually steeping. You're not. What's that first process in brewing? You're not doing the mashing. My brain's not working right now. Anyways, But if we had make like IPAs that were really hoppy, you could make them taste pretty decent because the hops were covering up for the average base beer flavor. So I'd assume with non-alcohol or non-low alcohol beer, you could do the same thing where the hops could kind of cover up for probably the lack in flavor of the base beer, right? Oh, and on Philly Bike Expo, it's kind of like the East Coast big show. Yeah. Rick Urbanowski said on the Riv channel they're still going on about the nutmeg. Oh, am I not? I thought on YouTube, Rick? Or do they have a Discord on Rivendell? Like, where are you talking? Because last time I looked at their YouTube channel, they hadn't updated anything in years. I think the thing I looked up Rivendell for was how to do the twine around your cloth bar tape, and they had a good video about that, just with some reggae playing. But am I spelling it wrong? What the heck? The can says it's from Stratford, Connecticut. Yeah, so that is where we were. So, yep, Stratford was just, I think, the in the island of the kind of the area where the river kind of split from Bridgeport. So yeah, that was right over by us. Oh, Rick said it's a Google group thing. Yeah, there were Rick. There were so many ribs there. I mean, I just like I said, it was all. I mean, I don't. One of you other guys who were there, give me what number you think, but I would say crust and ribs had to be almost like 50% of the bikes at the whole thing. Like it was high. So it was pretty amazing actually. Oh, and there's a group ride to the Philly Bike Expo. That should be really cool. Dylan said Google Group the pinnacle of bike nerd. I don't yeah, Google Groups isn't something I've ever used, but they don't yeah, that's weird. They don't come up. So Dylan says he finds them searching bike stuff. I do get all kinds of message boards and sometimes I'll even look at Reddit for really bike nerdy stuff. The last year I've been kind of looking at Reddit and I've been posting some of our videos in there if it's like one that I think's a little more interesting. Reddit's something I never got super into either, but yeah. So my guess would be right if Pudgy's saying nutmeg was about quarter Rivendell and a quarter crust. So yeah, 50% of all the bikes being those. Yeah, it was high. Yeah, last night, speaking of being high, ate a weed cookie before our ride that I was told was weak, but it wasn't. So I was actually pretty baked, which is very unusual. I haven't I stay away from that stuff, but yeah, but first cold ride of the year, and I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, like it is. No, what yesterday was November 3rd, but it dropped way faster than the forecast had said it was going to. So it was already like I think 34 when we stopped to have a beer and stand around. I was dressed like it was as we were chatting in the Discord about like it was 22 in January. Like I had that many layers on because it's just totally not acclimated for that kind of cold yet. So I wore my kind of like Rafa commuter pants and but under I had my thickest wool tights and yeah, I think I wore a thin wool base layer with a synthetic wool blend jersey and then my wind jacket and my chrome vest, wool cap, two layers of like lighter gloves. But yeah, my I should have put on my insulated 510s and I didn't, and my feet were cold, not horribly like frozen, but uncomfortable. So yeah, I, I just it's ridiculous not to like kind of be bummed out about the weather change and the time change. It happens every year. Being bummed about it doesn't do any good, but it does bum me out. I can't help it. But at the same time, I'm kind of looking forward to having I feel like it creates more time in my day when the day isn't all daylight because when it's nice out, I feel like I have to be out riding my bike or in the garden or doing whatever when I'm not working. And when the weather does change and it's dark at 5 o'clock and then 4:30, I just feel like I get more done. Like I'll definitely get more done with this channel, with like I was talking about on Tuesday with the member stuff and all that. And yeah, like I said, I want to make some kind of cool swag, and I have some other ideas I want to do. But yeah, so I do like kind of get that little bit of relief because I actually feel less pressure to like constantly be trying to take advantage of what in Ohio is what a 3 to 5 month season where it's really nice depending on the year. So vampires don't like weed. Dylan said he's been resisting Reddit for years because his spare time would be like zero. Yeah, I kind of use it like, yeah, I check in once in a while and look at some photos and read some stuff. But yeah, I've never gone deep into Reddit. I have some friends who it's like that's their like 90% of their internet time for sure. Jay Dan, stay away unless it's offered. That's my philosophy. I believe I know what you're talking about. Nutmeg is Reddit in real life. Oh, Rick said, "Tell me more about it." My tights, the ones I was, they're the ones I wore in the rain in the nor'easter, and I bought them right before the trip. They are actually Smart Wool branded, but they are their. Trying to think of the name of them. I don't think Funny Brad's in here because he has a pair too, but they're like a 3D weave. So most of my tights, like even right now under my jeans, I have just a synthetic ones that I've fleece lined that I found on Amazon, and they just really work for me. So I have like 4 pairs of them. Then I have some just the same kind of like base layer wool, smart wool ones that are just like the thin base layer type stuff. But these are much thicker. Like for in Connecticut, I was wearing them with shorts because that's how like nice they are. But I'm trying to think of the name of them. They're of course they're spendy, they're wool, and they're smart wool. But they were really awesome because they don't, even when they were soaked, they just don't feel like they're right on your skin with this kind of weave. And then they also change the pattern where your knees and the back of your knees are, so they feel like they flex really well. Um, I'll need to look up exactly which ones they are. I bought them actually at the REI. So, but yeah, I could send you a message in the Discord, Rick, because I totally recommend them. Like I said, they're expensive. I mean, they're like probably $120, but that stuff is always going to be expensive. Wool is expensive. Oh, Rusty said he had to wear a warm shirt to commute this week already. Rusty. So Pudgy, it's a message board. Reddit is not that, uh, you know, Discord's like I've always called it a glorified message board. Reddit like is just a message board is what I mean that's really it's think of old like an old internet message board, but now like you have fast enough speeds to be able to drop in YouTube videos and photos with no problem. But yeah, it's pretty much a threaded, you know, I'm not the best person to talk about Reddit because I'm no expert, but it's basically like, there'll be a Reddit for bike packing, and then there's like that'll go into all kinds of threads and subreddits that are more specific to different elements of it. So you can kind of join them like groups. I'm sure it's Google Groups is probably not that different. Yeah, they're all just different kinds of message board type things to communicate. I mean, it looks like it looks like early internet stuff. Then they have some kind of like social game elements in the corner that I never really pay attention to, like where you can give people gifts and emojis. And I think even Discord has kind of some of that stuff. We just don't ever mess with it. But and their slogan is the front page of the internet, as Rusty said. But and Funny Brad has told me it's like that's kind of where like popular memes bubble up from and all that kind of stuff. Kind of. Anyways, it's my Reddit knowledge right there. But it is, if you don't, unless you're looking for, it is good for crowdsource specific information. I think Facebook groups have taken a lot of that over. Like that's just how, If I have a question on steel bikes, I have those groups on Facebook. So, hey, what's up, Gary? Gary said he bought a lot of park tools this week. And then Dylan said he bought a park tool derailleur hanger alignment gauge. Oh, nice. GP Park Flex. Hey, what's up, Blackball? So Rusty said, speaking of wool, Dylan, do you use wool? He doesn't use down, has been risking buying wool, but such a superior material. Oh, yeah, because vegan. Yeah. Oh, because down, don't they actually kill? They actually kill the animals to make down, but with wool, that's like not right. Yeah, bike specific tools, Gary, make a huge difference. When I was starting out, I was always trying to like rig everything up, not to, just to not buy stuff. But it's so worth getting, like, slowly building that bike tool collection. What's up, traveling through? Yeah, my parents got me, and I think it's actually on the end, down jacket's lower end of the spectrum down jacket, but it still works. It's amazing how well down jackets work. I'm sure there's a synthetic equivalent Dylan would know, but I even slept in mine both nights at Nutmeg as it got down into the 30s, and they're really comfortable to sleep in. But it's just nice how well they pack up. And I was saying, I think on our winter rides from now on, I'm always going to bring it. And if we stop for a beer, the first thing I'll do is put that on so you just don't lose that heat. It's amazing how well down jackets do hold that heat in. But the nice ones are obviously super expensive. Rick said baby seal underwear. Is Primaloft a synthetic version of down pudgy? I have done a little bit of reading on down, and it doesn't. Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like a very nice, sustainable way to make something. But I've never personally bought it myself. So Rusty was saying wool harvesting can still be really harmful to sheep depending on how the company shears the animal. Yeah, and I'm sure that's like anything. I'm sure there's more friendly companies and less friendly companies, right? And farms and everything like that. I mean, same thing. I mean, even goes towards, like, I mean, if you're vegan, it doesn't matter, but food, you could get like sustainably raised or like, stuff that's way, whatever. There's the spectrums of all that stuff, I'm sure. Pudgy said it sort of is. So I'm talking about the Prima. What was already? I think I have it up here. Prima Loft says it's sort of like very thin but not crazy warm. Yeah, the thing with the down stuff is I'm looking for crazy warm. Like, just that's what it's for me. It's not to be like, I don't like, the down jacket isn't something I'm actually going to be riding in unless it was like a short commute where I'm not going to have time to build up any heat. But I would overheat, I think, in that jacket and a t-shirt in the coldest of weathers. Coldest of weathers. Coldest of weather. Pudgy said he worked on a farm in high school and they had to shear the sheep in the summer. It's pretty traumatic to them, even in ideal circumstances. Oh, that's bad to know. Make me feel worse about my wool purchases. But it is a material that's hard to beat. Like I said, I do have these synthetic tights I like, but nothing is compares to, like, you know, how much you could wear a pair of wool tights before you have to wash them versus synthetic. So again, then you're also looking at environmental implications of washing and using way more water to wear synthetic than I would be with wool. But Hey, what's up, Nicholas? Always late. What else did I have on the? Yeah, just since it was just me chilling, I made the list to talk about. Yeah, the. Oh, the other thing is, I do want to film new intros that are more seasonal. I'm trying to decide if I should wait till the leaves are gone so they don't look like fall in the winter, and wait till maybe we get the first snow to film them. But I went to make a new members video, the Piddle Break video, members video, to add CJ Thompson and Alpine Daydream, and I totally messed it up. So I don't I don't have it because yeah, whatever, long process with Premiere. I hit a wrong button, didn't get done, ran out of time before the stream. But then I'm like, I should make a whole new one anyways because I don't think we want to look at summery green when it's winter. At least I don't. It doesn't like it makes me feel worse. What is David H saying? The sheep saw what happened to the pigs. The sheep saw what happened to the pigs. Yeah, yeah, gotcha. Is that a Animal Farm reference or not? Nah? Hey, what's up, Dimitri? Dimitri, I always see you chatting in Terry B's Twitter, Twitch streams, but I never actually. I rarely chat in those because I put them on my Fire TV while I'm working and just have them on in the background all day. So I'm usually a lurker when I'm in there, but I do see you in there chatting too. Single speeds are slow, and Rusty said only if you're weak. Like I've shown before, the one I have, well, it's on the stand. I don't have my second camera set up tonight. Um, but that one's actually, once I get it going, fairly quick because I think the gear ratio is a little too hard for me. I mean, it's not track bike gear ratio, but speaking of track bikes, did anyone watch the hour record attempt yesterday by, um, oh my God, I almost said Campanarts. He's who has the hour record. Alex Dowsett. Actually, we were out riding because he went for the hour record at 6 o'clock Eastern time. But when I got home, I like watched it, kind of skipped through it a little bit until I saw that he wasn't going to get it. But oh, Dimitri just said that. Yeah, that was Alex Dowsett. Yeah, yeah. He put in a respectable ride and he didn't give up. Um, I'm trying. I can't remember where he ended up on the list. I think he bested. He had the hour record. Then it got beat by Wiggins, and there's someone in between. Then Campanarts took it, and Campanart still has it. Yeah, he was running 61:13. I think you're right. The bike was pretty fascinating because it had a different um, aerodynamic setup than you know how track bikes forever were getting narrower, and then Great Britain in the Olympics used those track bikes, those Hope bikes that had the really wide forks and stays to act as kind of ferrules to guide the wind around. His kind of had that, but it wasn't for the same reason. It was to, I guess, keep the tire from, like the aerodynamics of the tire from interfering with the fork. So it's kind of a new concept in aerodynamics. It was actually not a track bike. It was a new time trial bike modified to be a track bike. But that gold chain ring he had on there was pretty crazy. Yeah. Watching him, the beginning of the hour attempt, try to get up to speed. I think what it took him like 2 laps pushing that hard gear because the hour record, you have to do it from a standing start. So you have to get up and get over that big gear to get up to pace. It's see if I could. I think if I pull up Alex Dowsett's Instagram, I could get a picture of the bike. Hey, yeah, yeah, really cool big gold chain ring. There he is. Oh yeah, it's a factor. Yeah, so that's it from the side. Yeah, head. I think he was saying the wheels too. There's no internal structure; they're just discs. Ceramic speed bearings. They were talking about I think it was something with, man, was it? I was watching him do the breakdown. It was either the bearings or the chain set. No, it was the chain set. The chain is some special chain that is so fast that they were saying it was saving him 25 centimeters a lap. So, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're doing, I think it's to get the hour record, I think he had to be near 270 laps of the velodrome. So, did he have a? He doesn't have the side angle of it. No. Yeah, you can't quite tell, but yeah, there is space between the wheel and the forks. Unlike Pudgy, what's your one friend who just went under 4 minutes, and he had the opposite style bike that was super narrow and fast. Yeah, don't cuss on until after 10. Dimitri said he wonders how his legs feel today. Yeah, after the hour record, he could barely stand. Like when he got off the bike, now Chanel, his girlfriend, was like holding him up, and so was the trainer or his coach, whoever it was. Oh yeah, Lanky, I haven't watched the videos he put out yet today. So you said he wasn't feeling too good. Oh yeah, Ashton Lambie, who Pudgy was talking about. But yeah, Alex Dowsett was talking about how his bike company went like a completely opposite route. And it's just like you think with like all the computer modeling, you think we'd start to know everything you know about aerodynamics. And if you look at like, aero road bikes, how they've all started to look the same. It's interesting with track bikes, how there's been like this divergence in like aerodynamic theories on what's the fastest. So like Alex Dowsett was saying, it's an interesting time for that stuff. Did Ashton go for the hour record? I thought he was totally focused on the shorter stuff, but I am not a track cycling expert by any means. There was a different British rider who just set the British hour record. Um, his time wouldn't have counted for the hour record no matter what because he wasn't following. He's not UCI, whatever. He's not on the drug testing regiment that the UCI has you on to qualify for the hour record. Can you imagine holding that position for an hour? Like that would just be horrible. Rick was asking why he's crying. I think it's pretty emotional to put all that effort into something like this. And I think he was bummed he didn't get the record, but he also raised. Alex Dowsett is a hemophiliac, and so he does a lot of work raising money for hemophilia, and that's what this was. This hour attempt wasn't sponsored by his team, Israel Startup Nation. It was sponsored by Pfizer, and they were helping him raise funds for Little Bleeders, which is I don't know all the it's all there in the caption, but yeah. Yeah, 4K. So Ashton Lambie did 4 kilometers in 3.599. Yeah, it's amazing how much a hand position could save you because for a while before the UCI changed the rules, they had found that what it was that praying mantis position is the fastest. I think it's bars. It's the bars like up underneath your chest, but those aren't legal anymore. So yeah, there's a number of positions that aren't legal anymore, and there's a number of records that don't stand because of the equipment used. But yeah, didn't Indurain set it on a? I think Miguel Indurain set it for a while, but on a bike that wouldn't be UCI legal these days either. So I think that's kind of some of the interesting stuff about it is just seeing that, you know, it doesn't apply to my life, but the tech that goes into like doing something like this, like the skin suit, the helmet, all that stuff. Um, it's fun to just learn about. Yeah, what is? Let's. I think it was in Duran. Oh yeah, this was that famous Pinarello that this is what Indurain was riding when he set the world hour record. Obviously, you can't. Your bike has to have the double triangle shape now. So yeah, it doesn't look like his bars are illegal. I think it's just the. It's actually the frame that wouldn't be legal now. Oh, I don't have this totally on. How to resize this? Oh, resizing the wrong thing. There we go. John, I was asking me if when I travel, do I photograph for stock? Um, I don't. I actually use fineartamerica.com, which is just an art website. So I'll put my travel photos up there. And so it's more like frame photos and stuff like that. My cousin was a photographer, and the studio he worked at, like when he worked for that guy and independently, they made a ton of money in stock back in the day, back in the Alame days. I think Alame still exists, but it just didn't seem like there was a lot of meat on the bone in the stock world anymore. But I know some people still do it. Did he do it outdoors? Or is that. I would assume like Merckx would have been like the last guy to set the hour record outside. Yeah, what is. Look up. Now that I'm thinking about it, just. I think Wiggins set it on a bike that would still be legal. I wanted to see what that looked like. Oh, another Pinarello. Whoops. Oh wait, you. That's where the chat is on the screen. So go down here. Yeah, Wiggins' bike almost looks like a time trial bike as well, doesn't it? Modified for the track. I wonder if it was. Rusty will give me some meat on the bone. And John, since I've made more like a full time business out of commercial photography, I've paid less attention to other avenues. So when I was just part time pro photographer or even hobbyist, I would look into stuff like stock more like that back then. So just time consuming to do all that tagging, all that kind of stuff you have to do with stock. Yeah, quite a difference. That's Eddie Merckx's hour record bike. Still a big front ring right there, huh? But yeah, a little bit different. Front disc wheel was against the rules. I don't think for our record. I think it might be for regular track racing, but I don't think the front disc is against the rules for our record. The other thing too with like with the Hope bike that Great Britain was using in the that's it's such a cool looking bike. Should pull that up. I know we've done it before, but so different than anything. Those crazy forks and stays, but yeah. So the UCI relaxed some rules, which is why we're seeing new designs in like track bikes and our record bikes. But yeah, this one the concept is that they've realized like behind your legs or behind anything, the air swirls. So having those wide seat stays helps guide the air back instead of it getting caught in like a little mini vortex. So like the front fork guides the wind around you, and the back fork keeps it moving. So uh, the science was saying this is like by far the fastest bike ever made. Like obviously in an indoor velodrome situation. Yeah, put some super wide tires on there. I don't think you. I think the clearance issues would come with the top of that fork right there. I guess Hope wasn't overly thrilled with the big Lotus logo on the fork, even though Lotus did make the fork, because it made it look like a lot of people started calling it a Lotus bike since they already have a well-known name in cycling. And I think Hope is actually more of a mountain bike company, aren't they? They had a good photography. Photographer, these are cool photos. But you would put 8-inch tires on there from the guy who rode a fat bike in the cross race. Yeah, I think like the little touches like this were like 3D printed titanium. You know, yeah, kind of cool, over the top. What, $15,000 bicycles? Hope started hydro brakes and hubs. Pudgy said. Yeah. Blackball said he has Hope Road and Mountain hubs. They're sick. Can't find them during the pandemic though. Yeah, not surprising. Yeah, that's the other thing. Don't they do their? He said they do a lot of components in house, but don't they also do a lot of? Weird. Sorry, thrown off. I just got a message that they're ready for me at Barrio Tacos. I definitely did not make a reservation at Barrio tonight. So, anyways, where was I? Uh, oh, Dimitri asked if I ever ride on the track. I never have. Me and Large have talked about Cleveland as a velodrome, going up there, and they have nights where you could go up and try it. He even won a couple free passes at Road Apple in the auction, and we had talked about it. It's just something I haven't done. So, one, obviously 2020 was weird, but yeah, next summer I really do want to go and just try it. It scares me a little bit, but yeah, it's something I want to do. I think I would enjoy it just to, or just to know what it's like. Even I like knowing what every kind of cycling's like, even if it's not going to be my thing. But Nicholas said he rode track a few times but never raced. Yeah, I don't think I would have any desire to race. I don't have. I don't think I have the um, guts to be that close to other riders. It's not something I, at this point in my life, I'm going to be able to develop the experience for. I don't think. like riding in a Peloton would be, like being a road racer even. It's just, you know, I could ride close around people I trust, but yeah. Traveling through, did you order me some tacos? It says press 2 to cancel. I almost feel like I should cancel, but at the same time, I'm like, I didn't even ever do any of this. Maybe I got a secret admirer who is trying to meet me at Barrio tonight. Said reservation for 2. Rusty said he's disappointed that Lanky didn't run the Wednesday single speed at Heck of the North. Oh, should you, Lanky? You're gonna run the fat bike on the track? The other thing that, and I assume this is probably the same at most velodromes, but I've only looked into riding in Cleveland. Obviously, you have to use one of their bikes unless you have a track bike. So like, I can't just take my road bike or single speed because of the bottom bracket clearance. So you have to have that's the rule. So no matter what bike, it has to have a certain bottom bracket height, and basically track bikes or would have that because they don't want you wrecking and marring up their velodrome is basically what I understand. There's probably someone here who would know this better than me, but when I looked into it, I think that's what it is. So when they have like the open nights where you can come and learn how to ride on a velodrome, like the lessons and stuff, you're going to borrow one of their bikes unless you have a proper track bike that's qualified to ride on their tracks. So press 3, throw them way off. Smokey did it. Dimitri was saying he was tempted but thrown off by the cost. Yeah, Cleveland's not very expensive to go ride at, but again, it's an outdoor velodrome in Cleveland. I'm sure like nice indoor velodromes are probably more expensive and more busy, but yeah, no one could have brakes, right? It's got to be that Nicholas is saying one of the other rules. So it's no brakes, bottom bracket clearance, I think are the main two things, right? I'm Dimitri said he thought it just has to be fixed no brakes. I'm pretty sure Cleveland had a rule about bottom bracket height. I can be wrong, or crank length, or a combination of the two. I don't know. Is there a word for how high your pedals are off the ground? Pudgy said Phil Gaiman might disagree with the "come try the velodrome riding" message. Did he go down on the velodrome? I actually don't. I watch him sometimes, but I don't know what you mean by that. Phil Gaiman. Huh, so there must be a known Phil Gaiman velodrome thing. I accidentally knocked something off this bar I use as my streaming platform, and now the top's not staying straight. Oh, he busted himself up riding it, huh? Oh, he had a $250,000 medical bill, is what Cycling News is showing from just Googling this. Put myself back in the top. Whoops, wrong one again. Whoops. Man, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons right now. Sorry, guys. Oh, he was going to try and ride in the Olympics. Interesting. Dimitri said he was looking at the site and they had certifications before you could sign up to ride on the velodrome. Rick said velodrome is about polar opposite from industrial gravel as you can possibly be. Yeah, I'm not going to argue. Not going to argue with that. Yeah, you guys are all answering exactly what I looked up. Yeah, that's crazy. He seems pretty transparent. I don't feel like I'd have a reason to doubt him, but let's see if I can look up the Cleveland Velodrome, what their rules are. Oh, it says Ohio's only, huh? All right. New riders are frequently asked questions. They have a free intro session. Let's see what the rules are. Prerequisites: participant can comfortably ride a bike. So it says if you have cycling shoes and pedals, bring them and we'll put them on our rental track bikes. If not, please wear athletic shoes. Also bring your helmets, water. Let's see what the FAQ has. Get this so it fits on screen. Can I ride my own bike at the velodrome? So here's what I think the rules will be. Generally not unless you have a track bike. Fixed gear. No brakes, no freewheel. The bottom bracket is higher and the cranks are shorter, but it doesn't say it's a requirement. If you own a track bike, you are welcome to use it, but please have it approved by the Velodrome volunteer prior to taking it to the track. We have a fleet of 35 bikes that are free for Track 101 and available otherwise when you buy a paid class or open riding session. Huh. This would be a cool video to next spring, summer, go up there and just the whole experience, just document it. So, Lanky says near the mental hospital we rode, there was a broken road loop. I think that is the industrial gravel velodrome. Yeah. Nicholas asked if I had ridden fixed, and I saw that Pudgy answered once because I think I was just telling this story. But I think I have this on a new tripod. I'll swivel it real quick, anyways. But so that's my single speed I built up. But that bike has a flip-flop hub where the one side is fixed and the one side has a freewheel. And I got a flat tire just like riding out of here. And when I changed the flat tire, I had accidentally put it back on the fixed side. And so when I went to leave for my ride, I was like, oh, it's on the fixed side. And I was like, kind of like it throws you if you're not used to it. And so then I'm like, well, I guess I'll learn how to ride fixed today. And so some of you guys have seen this place, but it's like a row house buildings like you would see in like a major city, this little stretch of them. And it's kind of a slight downhill down my parking lot. And I just was trying to ride down that. And I just I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill myself if I just go out for a ride and try and do this. Like I need to go and ride around like a bigger parking lot a number of times to get the hang of it. So yeah, my fixed gear experience lasted about 30 seconds, I think, before I came back here and flipped the wheel back around to the freewheel side. But I also did try, Large Marge always rode fixed when we met. I don't think I tried his bike. I think it was our friend Michael's. I rode it around a parking lot once, and it was like same thing. I almost wrecked it going around the corner trying to coast. So the camera's crooked and it's driving me crazy, so I'm going to straighten it real quick. Now I pointed it down too far. Whatever. If I was going to try and go track riding, though, I would definitely put this into fixed mode and, do a couple days of spinning around on it before I just went to the track. And so you're not learning so many new things at once. At least I would have the feel for fixed before I tried to get onto a velodrome. But group velodrome meetup ride. Yeah, we should. A bunch of us beginners should get together and take that class. It would be a fun time. I definitely don't want to Phil Game in it. Exactly, Nicholas. So I'll see you later. But yeah, definitely would want to practice before I just got out there and made a fool of myself on the track. I'm going to grab one more beer, hang out for a little bit longer tonight, and then probably call it. Like I said, it's going to be a short one tonight. I just wanted to get back in the swing of Tuesday and Thursday. But like I said, I messed up the members video, so next week there'll be the new one, at least with everyone's names. So we haven't shown the classic over-the-top pedal brake video for a while anyway, so... Nicholas says he went over OTB, as I've learned, on the fixed in college. Now hammered. Well, yeah, that doesn't need to be a fixie for that to happen. Or, don't want to offend anyone, a fixed gear track bike. Dimitri said his prices are crazy, but it's a top level track. Yeah, we're probably two different tiers or two different ends of the spectrum when it comes to velodrome riding, I would guess, between Cleveland. All right, yeah. Let me take a leak, grab a beer, be right back. So you guys right when I went to break, we're talking about that bike polo. I was just watching the. Did you see? I don't know what do they call that? The indoor UCI World Championships where they have like that. Is that that's a different thing, right? Where they have that like bike soccer. Man, I try to adjust my hat, but everything's reversed in the camera. And then those like the bike gymnastic things, like bike ballet type stuff. Is that different? Is that a totally different thing? Is bike polo actually with like the golf clubs and a ball, or look that up? Oh, artistic cycling is what they call the crazy. Yeah, what is this sport? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Hang on. I don't have it on the screen anyway, so it doesn't matter. The one with the ball, obviously the artistic cycling's on the side. Yeah, artistic cycling's the bike dancing. Bike polo has mallets. All right. Yeah. So what is this board? Where's? Can't I see a caption? Oh, cycle ball. They just call it cycle ball. Fair enough. Though that artistic cycling stuff is bonkers. It's just how good they are. It's just absolutely amazing. Like the couples one where they're like, yeah, absolutely bonkers. I'll look up bike polo. Bike polo. Polo shirts come up. Oh, okay. What was Pudgy saying? There's a scene somewhere for that? Down Grand Rapids has a great bike polo scene, huh? Oh, this looks like a bike messenger sport, huh? This looks like it'd be fun to watch. This picture shows why I have no desire to do it. Oh, this looks like a little more serious version of it here. Oh, look at that. That's a great photo. I think I've seen this. Does he show this in Line of Sight, Lucas Burnell? I think I've seen this in some kind of fixed gear movie. Might even be an older one. Black bike polo shirts, yeah. Like you said, can we get a video of Tim and Large doing pairs artistic cycling? They bike polo in Cleveland? Man, I need to write down all this stuff. All this stuff would make great videos. Going up and watching bike polo, the velodrome, me and Large doing artistic cycling. Dimitri said he'll stick to flatland BMX. It seems like this would be a more like you can get into this on easier terms than like that cycle ball. Now that we know that that's what it's called, because that is insane the way those guys ride ride the bikes. Nice. This guy's got a mount so he could hold his bike polo mallet. I almost called it a stick. Hey, what's up, Orlando? Oh, you used to play hard back in the day in San Antonio. Nice. Large Marge says he only does artistic cycling. What was that like on Halloween when Aaron asked if Large was going to wear a costume, and he said he was going to go as a cyclist. So, bike polo shirts. Yeah, that's like I just think yeah, I would love to more and more go like check out all kinds of different stuff. It'd be really fun to do. One, just as a photographer, I could enjoy myself anywhere, but as someone who enjoys all forms of cycling on top of it, like that's even being at the cross race, the Heck of the North. I just had a blast with the awesome backgrounds, being able to take the photos of everything up there. So, yeah, this was the put it in the title, so I might as well scroll through a couple of these. But these were the photos I took at the Heck of the North, the Joy Machine sponsored um, race that Linky did. That's our buddy Woody Roach Clips we were talking about. He rode it. He was riding in the first race. I got there a little after 8. He was already rolling. So yeah, so that's the Joy Machines kit. Well, not the. This is the Joy Machines kit. That's a modified version, obviously. So it's a bike polo shirt when the little alligator is riding a bicycle. That's an Izod, right? Isn't the alligator the Izod? I needed. I think I'm gonna sign up for this and one or two of these next year, just in the early, like the open race category, just for the, just like Lanky did it, just to do it. I don't think it's something I want to seriously get into. I'm not that serious about training or anything. I love this guy's Devo costume. Yeah, Rusty, the E Durbin on Instagram did the dirty water route. Yeah. Oh, Pudgy, you're right. Lacoste is the alligator. Yeah, so right here, yeah, this is it Edwin Large? I just know his handle, and then I just pronounce it the way I always pronounce it in my mind. But yeah, he did the dirty water route from. Uh, we were just looking this up the other day. We were talking about it. Where were we at? Nutmeg with Fat Ben. Oh no, it was when we were in Rochester. But yeah, how fast he did the dirty, all the way from the Ohio River to Lake Erie, but it's on gravel roads and very hilly, so it's not like Ohio to Erie or anything like that. Ah, he's right here. E. Durbin. Nice. What's up, man? Yeah, we were looking up your times and everything when we were hanging out in Rochester, and we couldn't believe how. Just still can't believe it. Following your Instagram too was awesome when you were doing it. I pronounce everything wrong, by the way. So I'm like, did I just make up those letters in my head? I always just like glaze over everything. I'm like, eh. I love even this, like the podiums with the lake in the background. This spot, Whiskey Island. If you've never been up to like this area in Cleveland, even if you're just around, like go up to just like hike around there and have a beer out at the old like Art Deco Coast Guard station or whatever. Now the bike path does go over here, so I'm wondering if it's going to become more crowded and less likely that on your own you could just go do whatever. But Oswald, Jay Ganzer is the Cannondale rep for Dirty River, and I also think the shop that Lenky goes to. But yeah, so I met Jay a number of times. It's the Ohio champ, but he overcooked this corner the first time coming around this lap, and he came real close to going down. These guys in this race were killing it. But yeah, these views are so awesome, right? Oh, awesome. He said he just stumbled across the stream, was hyped to see the video earlier, and why YouTube suggested it. Nice. That's awesome you popped in right when we were talking about this. In this race too, it looks like everyone used like official like cyclocross bikes. I love that photo too. I didn't know anyone's names to post like well I know the Joy Machines guys, but other people to tag them on Instagram. Yeah, this creek crossing. If you saw Lanky's video, I would you say you made it the first time, but then couldn't pull it off the next couple. But yeah, this made for great photos. I just stuck my GoPro on the hot shoe mount, but with the cold shoe mount onto my Canon, and I was just filming slow motion too when these guys went by. It worked out okay. It's not a bad. I need a shorter lens to really do that because the lens would get in the shot sometimes. But Dylan said he feels like people could win cross races on a hardtail so much easier. Uh, yeah, I guess it depends on the course, obviously. This course was really fast in the morning because it was just fast and grassy, and then it got progressively slower and muddier, as I'm sure, because, right, you rode in the first race and then also in the last race, so you'd be able to say that. But I know when Lanky rode, it was a much tougher course. Yeah. on, a scale of 1 to annihilated, how was your taint post DWR? And he said definitely 11. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the bike front. Yeah. So, anyways, with the course going downhill, I'm guessing early on, like a true cross bike was probably pretty fast, and then later on, it probably wouldn't have been the fastest option. It wasn't too cold this day. It drizzled like in the early part of the day and then kind of cleared off. I'm trying to think of how. What was it in the? Was it in the 50s? I'm trying to think of how warm it was that day. That was my beer break. I rode over to Terrestrial Brewing for some brunch. I was so hungry. I got up and just got straight out of bed and drove right up to the race. Like I said, I was shooting an event the night before the Halloween charity ball, and I definitely had my fill of booze. Like I said, I was probably still drunk driving up there. Yeah, this guy bunny hopped this mud puddle, and when he landed, he looked back, and this guy was pretty serious. He looked back and he yelled. He's like, I think he's wearing a skin suit. He's like, "Did you get that?" I was like, "Kinda," but yeah, this one's even. I like this shot with his front wheel hitting. Cross is a tradition. Road racers racing off season for sure. Yeah, you're saying it was just splashes in the first heat. Yeah, because yeah, people weren't as dirty in the early part and weren't sliding every that off camber stuff where you took that beer hand out was crazy. It looked so hard to get by in the end. This is a photo I really like too, getting really low. I had to take this photo and then like yank the camera away so I didn't get the mud splashed all over it. But yeah, this stuff is where it got gnarly. These curves coming down, then they were off camber, like in the later races. Nike asked me if that was Brian Ryback. He owns Gear Up Fellow and Independence. Did he have any kid on that said that? The one who was bunny hopping, or yeah, I see a gear logo there. I can't tell. Thanks, Rick. My Canon R5 is just unbelievable for this kind of stuff because it's got the 12 frames a second mechanical shutter, 20 frames a second electronic shutter, which is nuts, with a camera that has the like autofocus that's just through the roof good. So yeah, and then 45 megapixels to crop in if you don't quite get tight enough with the lens. Yeah, there's Fat Ben Wintro and their buddy Randall, who I met at the Otis Roubaix. But yeah, it's funny because we rode with Fat Ben, and everyone calls him that. I'm not calling him Fat Ben. Um, like that's his Instagram handle too. In Rochester because he moved out there and that's where he lives now. So on our way back from Nutmeg, we actually stopped and went out to dinner and rode with Fat Ben, and then he was in town just a couple days later, so I got to see him again. But oh, Large said he's trying to bring a race or two to Akron in the next couple of years. We should, yeah. Oh, Lenky said the race was in the mid 50s. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Said the whole team chat went wild for these picks today. It was worth the wait. Nice. Oh, how you did the Dirty River ride. A friend from Cleveland dropped you at the start, visited his family in Cincy, then picked you up in Vermilion. Nice. Yeah, this year you would have had to. Yeah, this year you would have had to do a U-Haul because when we did Ohio to Erie, we couldn't get a one-way rental anywhere, a truck, a car, nothing. So we actually paid Yonda, the mechanic at one of the mechanics at Dirty River, to drive us down to Cincinnati. But U-Haul was our other option. But then we didn't know where we were going to put the with five of us or four of us where we would put the people. So see you, Dimitri. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, we could come up with some good routes for cross down here. There's got to be a couple spots that we'd be able to use. Yeah, that Duff Man costume. I love the great, perfectly timed point too. Is this one? Is this Fuzzy Stitchworks right here? I know Large and E would know. I between everyone's different handles and all of the Instagram I look at, I'm always trying to remember who is who. Like, I've met Boris a number of times, met E, met Alex and Scott Lichty and Alex, but I'm still a couple times I get confused on who is who. Oh, okay, this is Fuzzy. Yeah. Bandit CX at Honda Hills would be awesome. That would be so fun. Yeah. Oh, Brian. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to have Brian on the live stream too to talk about Fuzzy and all that stuff. I've been thinking about reaching out to him as I get back into having guests on like remotely. This is my favorite photo. That's why I use it as the thumbnail at the of the video. And successfully getting the handoff. Yeah, Muddy. I from what I when I was watching because Large got me into watching professional cross kind of the last few winters, And it seems like some of the riders, that's what they're hoping for. They're like stronger in the mud, so it just depends. But yeah, I mean it's a wet Northern Europe right sport originally, so yeah, wet and muddy is kind of the name of the game. Oh yeah, beer hand up. I love the expressions are so great in this. Yeah, you could see too how like the race has entirely changed based on what the course is like, the conditions, because this would be super fast, like totally dry, but then you're slogging it out when you're in this kind of stuff here. And also, wearing this outfit is so great. I think he was saying, so he's Chris Farley, right? He was saying Chris Farley lines the whole time as he was going around. Rusty said in Phoenix they frequently spray water on the course for cross because it's so sensible in the desert. Oh, yeah, and the Teletubbies. That's Pudgy, exactly. He kept yelling in a van down by the river. I thought there was supposed to be a turbo grapple this month. What? Oh, a Joy Machines thing. Yeah, Matt Fowley, motivational speaker. Shutter speeds, Rick. I messed around with a number of things. Here I'm going super fast. I did do some slower panning ones, but I actually Flickr should have the actual info. This is one 640th, and I know I did some faster than that. So yeah, ISO 640, 640th, f4. This lens is zoom lens, so f4 is the widest aperture it has. I kind of wish I had brought my 105 1.4. It would have looked cool to get even a shallower depth on some of these. Oops, hit the mic. Yeah, there's Duff Man, and he had all the beers loaded up in the beer belt and in his pockets. Yeah, I love this photo too with Cleveland in the backdrop. Yeah, you could see how gnarly the course is getting right here. And Scott, when he was handing out the beers at this spot, he was talking about how, a beer handout in the most dangerous spot, and it really was. It was like, the photos don't show how off camber that stuff is. There's the lanky cyclist. Oh, he said he wants to know how I got that matrix looking shot of the team selfie. When I saw you guys all standing there, I had my GoPro in slow motion mode, and I just stepped forward and then extended my arm really fast. So, yeah, I don't. It looks like it. I don't know why it came out looking extra unique because it almost looks like it has what they call a dolly zoom on it, which it doesn't. But yeah, it just like yeah, I don't know why that came out so perfect. It really did though. I think it's because you guys were holding so still that really it just adds some weird effect to the slow motion. Like just a number of things kind of colliding at the right time. Yeah, like you can't like some of these little ramps were fairly steep. You just like I said, wide angle is not going to show what it looked like, but it looked like a tiring course. That's a great shot too. Duffman's costume was brilliant doing hand downs. Yeah, that's so cool. He's a bike wild guy and the race is down by the river. There's Lanky winning. Whoops, wrong. Get my me out of the way. I also like, Lanky, in your video, that shot where you put that trophy up real close to the camera so it looked huge. That was brilliant. And then you step up behind it and it's the tiny little trophy. The Teletubbies out of costume. Yeah, then Jay won both his races, right? He won the more serious elite race, and then he won the single speed division as well, I believe. So yeah, Lanky wins. A win is a win. You know, like we always say in pro racing when someone's like, well, that guy wasn't at the race. It's like, hey, you can only race against the people that are there, right? So the camera adds about 15 pounds to Lanky's tire. Yeah, I could show. I think I have that on if I do this. Yeah, so we were talking about the Matrix looking slow-mo shot. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. It just came out so good. Just a little better. There we go. The best part of Lanky's video, yeah, there's a lot of cussing in Lanky's video. Well, I'm going to get out of here for tonight. I am actually going to do another. I'm going to try and do another hour of work. But I mean, I feel good. I'm getting caught up from my Connecticut trip on everything, you know, that throws me off. So, yeah, I don't know. On Monday morning, I have a video of me and Pudgy and Aaron and Large and Funny Brad rolling around in Syracuse, New York, that we stopped at our way to Connecticut. And then Tuesday night, we'll do another stream. Like I said, I'll hit you guys up in the Discord for guest ideas and for anyone who wants to do some guest appearances. Yeah, I'm glad you jumped in here. It was awesome to chat with you right when we were about to start looking at some photos, too. Yeah, that event was perfect. Heck of the North was awesome. So, yeah. All right, guys. I will see everyone in the Discord and then on YouTube on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.
Right.